Hey there, this is Katherine. I am sharing a kit from Ldrs Creative called Forget Me Not. This kit has a stamp set, a die set, and these 4 layering stencils. And they've got a picture on the back to show you exactly how it's supposed to line up. So let's get started. So I'm going to begin by stamping this out with some of my Gina K amalgam ink. I'm using Obsidian here. I am stamping this onto smooth Bristol cardstock because I am going to ink blend the stencils on top. So I want my ink to slide well over the paper, and I find that Bristol Smooth works best for me. So I'm going to take a little piece of tape here and tape the backside down, and then I'm just going to start blending. So these stencils are awesome, they're great quality. And I'm starting with worn lipstick on this first layer. Now what I like about this set is you get the stencils so you can use them if you wish, or you can just color with your markers or watercolor, whatever you want. So you have some options there. You also could stencil without them for kind of a no-line coloring look as well. I'm going to try that soon, but I'm just doing it with the stamp because you get all of this in the set. But there's some cool things you can do with these, and I'm all about stencils these days. I enjoy coloring, but stencils make my work look a lot better. And they're quick and easy too. You can mass produce these cards. You can choose any other colors that you want, warm, cool, blues, purples, anything you want to do. So it's totally up to you based on what you have in your craft collection. So I'm just quickly going through each of these stencils. Like I said, there are 4 of them, and they have little alignment guides on there. You can see just a tiny bit when I lift it up. You can see where you're supposed to place it. So they're very, very easy. They have an A, B, C, and D engraved on the bottom right-hand corner, so you know exactly which direction you should be doing. So they've made it very, very easy to use. So I'm going to use Lucky Clover on this one. This green part, which I'm just going to take a second here to do, and you can see all of your beautiful flower is protected. And you could do different colors if you wanted to have more variation. You could do that as well if you wanted to change that sort of thing up. And here's the last stencil here. You can see how quick and easy this is. This is only sped up probably, doubled a little bit, but it's not super fast. So it only takes a few minutes once you stamp your images to produce this finished result. So I'm taking my darkest green here and just running that over, and look at all of the depth you get, the dimension that you get. And so I'm going to work on finishing up the card, but I'm going to pull out my laminator here. I've got a video I'll link in the description all about the Ldrs Creative geometric toppers, toner toppers, that's what they're called, toner toppers. And I'm going to use some of this Gina K star foil that I have. I'm going to run this through my machine, and I'm using one of those geometric pieces, and you'll see what happens once I run this through. I am all about foiling. I think that next to heat embossing, which is my absolute favorite technique, I think using these toner pieces now has become my second favorite technique because the payoff is just great. So I'm going to run this through with my parchment sheet, my parchment paper, and you'll see what happens, what is left behind. So I'm going to let that cool for a second, and I'm going to peel that off, and it is absolute perfection. So wherever there is the toner, it will pick up the foil. So I'm not going to throw that sheet away, what was left behind. I'm going to pull out one of these toner sheets, also from Ldrs Creative. And again, I've got a video highlighting all of these products that I'll link. But so I'm going to not throw this piece away. Normally this would be waste and just for the trash, or maybe you could find something else to do with it. But unless you have this toner sheet, you really can't do much. So I'm going to run this back through my machine. I've taken a second to line it up, and I'm going to run this through, and you'll see what happens. It gives you no waste, essentially. And so these beautiful pieces of foil, you will be able to use them all using the toner toppers and then the toner sheets. You can die cut with them. They're awesome. And for me, they're a game changer when it comes to using these foiling products in your laminator. All right, so let me pull this out, cool this for just a second. I slowed this down just a little bit to regular speed because I want you to be able to see the great reveal here. You can see you've got some nice adhesion to your paper, and look at that. It is clear, and all of that foil has been left behind. Isn't that amazing? I can do this all day long. The satisfaction of it it's just worth it. It's worth it. Take an afternoon, work with some of these products, and you will be in love too. Okay, so I'm not gonna use the first piece that I foiled. I wanted to use the solid pink, so I have gone ahead and trimmed this down to an A2 sized, so it's 5.5 by 4.25. And of course, I will save those little strips for another project. No way am I going to throw those beautiful pieces of paper away. So I'm going to glue all of this down. Off camera, I went ahead and stamped and heat embossed with white the Miss You Tons, and then I have cut it out. Again, all of that stamp and the die is included in this set. So let me just adhere this to the foiled paper, and I really wanted to have that pink peeking out behind it, and you can see it just plays off nicely with my pink flowers. So I'm going to take that Bearly Arts glue, and I'm just going to glue this directly onto my A2 sized card base. And then to finish it off, I'm going to add my sentiment, and I'm going to add a few sequins as well. I'm being careful because I have a white card base. You can see my fingers are a little inky. I did wash them, but sometimes you get a little transfer, and so I'm just kind of being super careful because I know my fingers could be a little bit suspect. And I don't want to ruin my project, although you can always put some placed sequins or a sentiment to cover up any smudges. Okay, so I've added the glue. I'm going to put the Miss You Tons right in front. This card will go to my daughter who is at college. I love to make Miss You cards, and when I saw the stamp set that was one of the sentiments included, besides the beautiful flower and the stencils, I had to get it. All right, so I'm going to pull out my little container that has a bunch of different sequins, and I'm just kind of deciding what colors I want to use. These are a very light pink. They're a little hard to see on camera, but they are a beautiful shade. So I'm just going to take my glue. I'm a bit of a random sequin placer. Often I don't spend too much time laying them out. I just kind of cluster them in groups of 3 sort of organically, and I'm just going to kind of surround the sentiment with these sequins. So I'm using my little tool to get them exactly where I want them to go, and when this dries, it will be ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed this beautiful stamp set and the dies, and then also seeing a little bit of those foiled pieces, the toner topper. Check those out as well. They are a lot of fun if you enjoy foiling. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you aren't a subscriber. I love to do reviews on stamp products and things like this, so be sure to check back, and have a great day.